What's up, Bala?
What's
Oh
happening, Chris?
my gosh.
My God, we did it.
What just happened?
I don't know. I feel like I was in a dream, and I woke up from that dream, and I want to go back and try to relive the dream, but I can't.
Oh, but you can because you recorded it.
Yeah.
And not only,
Oh my God.
like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bala Show.
Wow, this is
That
the
recording stopped midway through, and you were like,
It did. I don't know why it did that. I was in the flow, and then it just said no more, and I was like, okay, we got to record this again. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. And that's gonna be interesting to see how that went.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know, but like, wow. Like, if you're watching us, we're streaming right now on YouTube and Facebook. What's up, everybody? We are cheering Bala on. I don't always get to see your comments live, but like, drop some fire emoji in the chat because Bala just dropped it like it was hot. And I'm like salivating. I'm like, we have to go live because I know you have time right now, right? Like,
Yeah.
you have to go live to capture this feeling.
Oh my God.
What are you feeling?
It's crazy. I mean,
I could see it.
So this morning I went for a run, which was great. I was getting my mind right, and then I came home and then I redid. I'm literally on my dresser right now because I wanted elevation. I didn't sit at all. I did not want to sit for this. I wanted to bring the energy, and I was listening for music for like an hour, just getting myself into it. And then once it started, like, it just, perfect or not, it flowed. We did it. It happened. I didn't look at my clock one time.
Oh my God.
I did not look at it at all. And I felt like at times I was improvising, but I was like, dude, this is just, I'm doing it. And I kept like thinking of like Dean and Tony and like how they would do things. And I was just like, just going with it. But I'm like, oh my God, I just did that.
I mean, I have sparkle in my eyes because I watched, like, I'm so freaking stoked for you. I watched the whole thing go down. You executing perfection. Now, as a coach, can I pick out places of improvement? And have I done you the service of, I have this mega email that's like, oh my gosh, thanks for telling this story. I'm going to use this story in my own masterclasses, like for real.
Yeah.
Like for real. And it's like, you were so good. Because that's the thing, like my mission for the week and for like forever, but like my mission for the week is do it now, do it janky. And that was beyond janky and
that
like
was
more toward like perfect, but like tell us what it was like deciding June 15th. Is this what today is? 14th.
June 14th. Yeah.
And then working backwards from there. Like, how did you feel?
It definitely was very overwhelming at first, because there's so many things that are coming in, and you're like, and you realize how much you don't know, and you're trying to figure out the way. But like, as the countdown was coming, I was like, okay, I got a week. I'm still working on it, this and that. Me and Chris are going back and forth. And then the day arrives, but like yesterday I was like, it's Friday, it's coming tomorrow. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm maintaining my composure. I was like, I came home quickly yesterday to just prep. My main thing is always with my other line of work I do, I'm like, prep. Like, I wanted to get it to you as quickly as I could. So like, if we need to do any work on it, I can do it. But like, my greatest relief was when you were like, it looks good. It looks better. I'm like, yes, I got it. I know I got it.
There's so much in there. Okay. Don't go too far yet because there's so much in there. It's always going. I'm like grinning when you're like, it's overwhelming. Of course it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
You're learning a new system and you're applying the system in real time. Mm-hmm. Like, can I get an amen if you would have chosen July 14th as your date? How would it have felt then? Guess what?
Yeah.
You can tell me, but I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell them the overwhelm would have been the same.
Yeah.
Because we're humans. We get distracted, we procrastinate, and you learned so much more in the last 2 hours,
2 hours, yeah.
weeks than you would have in a month.
Mm-hmm.
You've just accelerated your growth.
No, absolutely. I think even if I would have delayed it then, yeah, I probably wouldn't have just done it as quickly as I
No.
did and just put aside the procrastination. And like, thanks to Val and like you, I was like getting out of my freaking head and just doing it. And like I told her yesterday, I was like, I just got to take this and make it my own. I got to make the flow. I gotta direct this right now. And I've never done this before. So I got to direct the flow here. I got to create it to work for me and make it work, to deliver. So I was like, so again, when I put it together, I was like, okay, I think this is gonna be it. But I wasn't. I wanted it to be good. I wasn't aiming for the perfection part of it. But I wanted to have something there to like, okay, if I gotta improvise a little bit, I got this. It was a guideline. It was a guideline. But I was like,
You got it.
oh my God, dude, we're doing this in 5 minutes. And again, but like at some point today, the nervousness just dropped. It just dropped for me. And I was telling myself, dude, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about them. So like I kept repeating this over and over and over and over. And it literally just released a lot of the nervousness and the tension and all that stuff. And I was like, bro, you got this.
Say that again.
The craziest part to it, which I loved, was my family showed up for it. My family showed up for it. Like, my other communities, I get it. Everyone's got things going on, but like my family showed up for it, and I was like, oh my God, they're seeing a different version of me than they probably used to seeing. So I was like, okay. Yeah. But even to then, like, I know sometimes we get nervous around people we know so well, but I was still like, whatever. I'm just gonna do my thing and deliver.
You were in flow. And now I know why. Because the golden rule, it's not about me, it's about them.
Yeah.
Like for the people in the back, you were like, it is not about me. It is for them.
Yeah.
And this recording. And so like the whole benefit of doing it now and doing it janky and like trusting yourself, like leaning in, you leaned into the system. And now we can talk about in the future, like what part of the system do we need to fix?
Right.
You see that, right? Fill the room. But like the thing is, you did it. And we so often get stuck because we don't decide June 14th is the day. And then we don't take one little step toward that goal. And then we don't lean in. This is my 4-step simple action, like how to take massive action. Then we don't lean in to the thing. You leaned into me, you leaned into Val, you leaned into others, you leaned into your family. You asked for somebody to be in the room to support you. And that is all. We need one person in the room to run the play. And then you celebrated the heck out of everything. You celebrated the heck out of them. You celebrated the heck out of what you were doing. You were talking about little tiny celebrations. Oh my God, give it up for Bala.
It was incredible. I am in disbelief that just happened. I'm like, what? Like, I remember making my first reel on Instagram and posting about it, but like the fact that it's happened. And again, throughout the week since we talked about it, I've been posting and people have been like liking it and seeing it, regardless of how many people attend it. But like, it's the exposure. The exposure is going out there. People see. And I took a photo of my dresser without drawers in it, and I put it on Facebook, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing what I got to do here. This is gonna be funny because I'm gonna laugh about this down the road when I actually have like a better setup and everything. I'm like, hey, we all start somewhere. This is how I started, and it went well. I love the fact that there's a lot of improvements because that means I know, hey, it's you have a road to success now.
Yes.
You have a road to success now.
Yeah, like you have the system. And now you can iterate the system, you can work it, you can ask for more people to help you, you can lean in, you can run the dang play again. That's so good.
It's amazing. And of course I have you to thank in your community because like, wow, if I didn't say yes, this would not have happened.
Oh my God.
You gotta say yes. You gotta be a yes man sometimes.
You do.
Oh my
You
God.
do. I mean, we all do. Say yes and figure it out. There it is.
Oh, there you go. Say yes and figure it out. Oh my God. Yeah. Now it's like, but I'm really glad too that, sometimes when we're in those moments, we get nervous about what to say. But like, it was kind of like, it's like when I read books, all these books at one point in my life just kind of came to my brain. So I felt like so many experiences of events and things I was taught and this and that just kind of came all at once to me. And I was able to find little bits to where to put them. So when we started doing the stories after the base, I was like, okay, I get where to put this in there. I get how this can work, how this can flow, this and that. So I was like, oh my God, so everything's meant for a reason. Everything I learned is also like it's helping me now. So
It's so
man,
good. You
it
taught
was
me
great.
so much. So if somebody was scared to get started, like somebody already has the system and they're like, ooh, but I don't know what I'm doing. What advice would you give them?
I mean, honestly, I think like it worked for me. Don't I think what it was for me was like I was going word for word. It's like someone having a PowerPoint, you're like literally reading every word of it, right? It's not your word. It's not what resonates with you. So like yesterday when I finally kind of started really my brain started wrapping around how to put it together, I'm like, you just got to take parts of it. Don't overwhelm yourself with everything because not everything's going to work for you right away, but just take bits and pieces and apply it to how you want it to flow. That's what it's there for. And I kept telling myself, like, dude, you're in a system here, but it's not your system. You just gotta make it adapted to your money stuff, your mindset part of it. So yeah, don't have a million things coming at you and be like, oh my God, I have so many documents. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Just take a breath. Take a breath. It's okay. Go through it all, see what works, see what doesn't, ask the questions, be open, be honest with yourself, and at one point you're gonna do it. Even if it's like a rough draft, you're gonna do the rough draft, put it together, and just get the feedback on it. And then okay, here we go. I gotta pull from here a little bit. I gotta put that back. It's a process. It's a
Yeah,
process. But just
it's a
take a breath, dude. Take a breath. This is not the end of the world. You've probably done much bigger things in your life and you figured it out and it's okay.
Mhm.
You're just trying to give yourself something to work with. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
So,
paralysis by overanalysis is real. It's like
yes, 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 it is.
there are so many things we could be doing or should be doing or somebody else did as it relates to this system. And how do I do this? And I don't have all the answers. And you're all like, take a breath. It's not about you. Run the play, figure it out. When you were in the masterclass, when you were in your masterclass just
Mhm.
now, were you like, was everything just like firing on all cylinders? Like, were you to the point of having real-time feedback for yourself or no? I
I
mean,
mean,
just curious.
yeah, yes and no. Like when I was doing it, like again, I didn't have a point of I didn't feel like nervous or fear. It was more of like, of course, here's the funny part. I have literally this at my desk right now.
Oh
So
yeah.
when I needed reinforcements, I just kind of kept looking at that and kept looking at a lot of things I learned from him. And I was like, I was just, yeah, I think part of me just got super energetic at times. Like I gave myself that energy and that permission to just start being playful and fun with it. That's what I was trying to do. I've done these things before in a way differently where I'm like, I'm just maybe too serious about money. And I know that's a way people approach it. It's like, you're too serious. It's funny. It's boring. I wanted to bring a different flavor to it. And then I know next time I'll be able to do more to it, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going with the flow. I know at times I was leaning in, I was cracking jokes up. I was just
Yeah.
being, playful with it. And I think that to me made all the difference of like, bringing to everyone else, because even I really enjoy the fact that I saw my aunt taking notes, and I was like, wow, she's really into this, like I know she looks up to me in many ways, even though I'm the middle nephew, but I was like, man, this is really cool, like they're hearing me here, I mean, and that's always a very nervous thing to do. It's like, oh my God, it's your family, you don't want to reveal that part of yourself. You're like, what the heck is Bala doing right now? Did that answer your question? Oh, sorry, I'm finally on all cylinders.
No, I love it. Yeah, go. You're in flow, because that's why I was like, we need to go live. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much. Yes, of course, it answered my question. What do you think? I mean, I'm so excited for you, because I was there. I was in the chat. Like, I was having takeaways. I was sharing some. Other people were sharing takeaways. And
Yeah.
even when they weren't on camera, how did you feel about that? Because again, like, it's like I've created strategies for myself when the room isn't as full, and to also make the recording look better, which is to put myself in speaker mode, and I don't have a bunch of black boxes places. But like, talk with us about your energy throughout, and just like, you did such a great job engaging everybody.
Yeah, honestly, just like with the clock, I didn't even pay attention to it. I really did not pay attention to it. I think it was the whole energy that Val told me, like, don't worry about how many people are in there. And maybe that resonated in its own way internally, but I was not worried that there was 4 people, 2 people. Like, I wasn't looking at any of that. I was really just like, dude, my camera's green, you're on, so you got to do this. That was the whole thing. I did not really care. I mean, I was really happy that there was engagement in there, and I was also trying to do that. And I think I enjoyed when you were just like kind of sitting back and just watching it, and I was like, dude, improv. Let's just go for it. Just do it. Just do ball right now, okay? Don't worry about nothing else. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're on fire right now. You're like the stand-up comedian position right now. Let the audience do what they're gonna do, and that's it. Like, I didn't even worry that there was not many people in there at all. So I was like, all right, cool. But I was like, this is your time. You're delivering this. Make the most of it that you can. Go with it. And I was like, cool. I was happy at the end. Even the fact that it was only like my mom and my aunt there, I was like, hey, there was an audience. Done
That's
it.
it.
There,
That's
that's it.
it.
Whatever.
Like, that is so good. So what would you tell somebody who is like, I don't know, like, what is this system? And like, what's Kristen been up to? Like, now that you're living through it, right? What would you tell other people who are not yet? First, you talked about people who have the system and are not yet taking action, or maybe they're in their own way, but now backing the train up a little. What would you tell people who haven't quite said, yes, this is for me yet? Like, what would you say?
What do you have to lose? Like, literally, what do you have to lose? I mean, yeah, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and it went to the story when I was talking about being president of my fraternity. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I just kind of put my name down and I went for it, and I learned as I went along. I said yes and I figured it out. It took me a year to figure it out, but I did figure it out. So it's like, at the end of the day, just take a chance on yourself. Just take a chance on yourself, honestly. Like, what do you have to lose? If it doesn't work out, the best thing either way is like, okay, you learned something that may not have, or whatever it is, but it's like, just take a chance on yourself, man. That's what I did. I didn't really know the depthness of all this either. I didn't get it all right away. It was so much info coming at me, but I was like, hey, if it works for someone else, why can't it work for me? Why can't this work for me too? You know?
So good. Oh my gosh.
I know.
You were like, everyone drink water, like, cue Kristen to start talking so I can drink water. And I'm just sitting there like,
I should have said that
maybe
more,
I should
but
drink.
I was like, I need to drink. I have been drinking water all day, but I was like, and at one point too, one thing I probably forgot to say, because I was listening to music the whole time, is here's the thing: I wasn't paying attention to all the cameras and all that, so I couldn't see what people were doing. But I would have been like, yo, if I can tell in a classroom, in a meeting, people are just trying to do this a little bit, I'm like, all right, we got to get up, we got to get up a little bit. That's why I didn't want to sit down. I didn't want to sit
Yeah, I
down.
love
Like,
it.
I'm gonna challenge myself here to stand up for however long we're doing this, and I'm gonna stand up and keep myself energetic. Because if I would have sat down, I probably at one point would have felt that I'm like, hell no, I'm gonna challenge myself here. So
Yeah, no,
I stay standing up.
my mentor, she stands up, and me and Val, we're trying to get, well, separately in our own worlds, we're trying to get to a point where I stand up.
Right.
I have a big drum set over here that
Mm.
we were excited when we purchased it, and now it's just in the way. So as much as my kids love it, once every 6 months, I'm trying to offload the drum set so I can move my room around. So, I love that you stood up, because that is really where the transference of energy starts, is in you, the host. And you were like raising your hands and you were doing the thing. It was so genuinely fun to cheer you on throughout
I
that.
appreciate that. I was
Yeah.
trying to be as genuine as I could, but yeah, I had my other desk ready if I needed to sit down, but I think I was such in a flow. I never even thought of it. My feet weren't tired at all. I was just like, but also beforehand, I didn't want to sit down because I knew I would have lost that. So I was like, no, we got to keep this up. So I was taking everything I learned from like Tony Robbins events and all that stuff and just applying it as best I could to just give myself all the tools now. And I'm like, okay, we're here. It's happening. Camera's on. Go with the flow. You did it. Oh my God. And I was like, and that's why I told myself yesterday too, I'm like, dude, in 24 at night when we were messaging, I was like, in 24 hours, you're going to have done it. In 24 hours, you're going to have done it. And in 24 hours, you're going to be celebrating this. You're going to celebrate this, however the turnout happens. So I was like,
Celebrate everything.
oh my God. This is such a quantum leap for me.
Well, thank you so much. What's that?
I just hosted a masterclass
called Quantum Leap on money mindset.
There you go.
So much. I learned so much from being with you. So I just want to say thank you to you as well.
Thank you to you, though. Thank you to you for being such a great co-host and bearing with me and supporting it all and leaning back when you had to and just like, yo, like I think Bala's got this. I think he's doing okay.
Yeah, you had it. You had it. That's so good. Okay, I can't wait to do it again with you. Are you ready to declare? We talked in that masterclass about the 5 characteristics of the wealthiest people in the world, and one of those being decisive action. Are you, Bala? Not to put you on the spot. You are willing and able, and you have permission to go off and think about it. But are you? When is the next masterclass? What are you thinking?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I definitely want to keep the momentum going, right? I want to keep us where we're going for now, and definitely within the next 2 weeks. I won't give an exact date, but definitely within the next 2 weeks. Definitely within the next 2 weeks, because we got the momentum. We know what we need to correct. We know we need to focus on now, which is great. So give yourself a little time to process it all, but then to be like, hey, I'm doing this again in 2 weeks, and now that everyone sees it, it's like, okay, all right, he's doing this again. So this isn't just Bala doing a one-time thing, trying to look like a money guru sort of deal. This is real. This is happening.
This is forever. This is forever. Can you see how you can run this play? And
oh my God. That was one of the things I told myself the other day. I was like, dude, once you figure it out for yourself, do you realize how many times you're going to be able to do this? Do you realize that you're literally propelling yourself into what could be the start of something new in your life just by this? So I was like, the universe sent this to me for a reason. I said yes for a reason. I am here for a reason. I'm going to impact lives through this system because it's time. Because I can't curse right now. I'm not going to. But I decided in nature to do this. I made the decisive decision to do this.
I love it. I love it. Give it up for Bala. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend. We cannot wait for you to announce your next masterclass.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, Chris, appreciate your help today. Appreciate you so much.
Yay. All right. Check out my email when you get to a minute. Like, send me some voice memos, and some of the stuff we've already covered, so we're good there. But that was my gift to you, is to giving you some real-time updates.
Awesome.